Hi, this is Greg Kimball with the incomparable Sharon Lechter. I had the pleasure of getting to know her on tour, and to be honest with you, I didn't know much about her story, but I discovered that she had helped write the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which I think that is almost everyone's intro to certainly financial literacy, and in a lot of ways personal growth as well. You went on to write 15 more books with Robert, and now she's been with Presidents, and you have redone the stuff with the Napoleon Hill Foundation. So little did I know when I read who I was going to have the honor of speaking on stage with, that it was very much just the tip of the iceberg. And from us at the speaker's dinner and watching the way that she communicates with people and helps people and her insight into life, she just kept literally changing my perspective just by being around her. And it's been honestly an amazing privilege and honor to get to know you.
Thank you.
And so today I just want to talk a little bit about things that you've got going on. We have the personal success equation. So tell us a little bit about what is that, how can it help so that people can engage with your brand. And one of the things that we were just sitting at her table where, okay, some of the things that she said while we were at this table, she launched 20 different companies, including Rich Dad. My favorite thing that she said was, I went to Barrett Jackson and bought James Bond's car. And then my wife proceeded to say, my name is Lechter, Sharon Lechter. So that is just things when you get around these people that they're able to say is truly special. But one of the things is she said, you know, because I told her, hey, one of the things I say is you can't have 20 years of experience without 20 years of experience. And she said, you know, actually, I don't agree with that because you need a mentor, and getting around the right people is the only way to compress those decades into days. And she has certainly shown me that. And so so that she can compress some of these decades down to days for anyone who ends up watching this, I encourage you highly to engage with her brand, engage with the books that we're going to talk about, because really understanding these mentors of your life, whether she's personally mentoring you or you're interacting with the knowledge that she's making available to the world, it's going to shorten the experience that you need so that you can do more with your life. So with that being said, tell us about the personal success equation.
Well, thank you, Greg, and I'm so happy to have you in my home today.
Oh,
so
thank
you're
you.
in town and invited you over, so thanks for being here. And thank you for all those wonderful compliments. I think maybe I should just shut up and have you keep talking.
Hey, I was just stating facts, not compliments. Those were just facts.
So the personal success equation is what we released in the book 3 Feet from Gold, which was the first book that I did with the Napoleon Hill Foundation. And in it we talked to about 20 different people who have successful companies who survived the downturns, got through the valleys. And we said, you know, so many people stop 3 feet from gold,
Yep.
all right? And we wanted to give inspiration and just nuggets of wisdom to help people find that inspiration to keep moving, okay, get through the tough times.
Exactly right.
And it was an incredibly fun project and really eye-opening as to things that really hold us back. Sometimes we hold ourselves back. Sometimes we just don't rebound quickly enough from going through a valley. And the wisdom that we brought together from all of these powerhouses was just incredible. And through that, we came up with the personal success equation, which is your passion and your talent, all right? So my passion actually comes from anger. Other people, you know, do what you love what you do. My passion was, I was angry we weren't teaching kids about money in school, all right? So your passion and your talent. I have an accounting degree, I was CPA, and I had lots of publishing experience, so I could combine those in writing all the books. But most of us stop there because we think we have to work on our own. But the next element is times A, which is the power of association, right? We have a new association, and you're here as a result of us meeting and discussing and liking each other and say, what more can we do? How can we play together? Power of association. We met at an event that I did with Coach Burt and Tim Story. We met through a Think and Grow Rich Legacy Tour. So again, always, how can you take it to the next step. And so passion and talent, power of association, and that's where those mentors come in.
Exactly right.
Where you can get the benefit of their years of experience, the benefit of learning from their mistakes.
Yep.
Even
Exactly
more
right.
powerful. And then times A, taking action. How many times do we know what we're supposed to do? We just don't do it.
Exactly right.
Right?
Exactly
We hold
right.
ourselves back. We procrastinate. So passion plus talent times association times action. And we almost went to press with that as the formula for the book. I said, no. There's something that's common with these people, and it's plus F, faith. Faith.
That's
They have
great.
faith in themselves. They have faith in what they're doing. They have faith that it's needed and necessary. And that faith helps them get through the tough times. And most of us, that F is actually fear. Fear
Oh, wow.
paralyzes us
Wow.
and holds us back. And so I created this guide at personalsuccessequation.com to help people, for you to analyze your own personal success equation. And I start identifying areas that maybe you need a little help.
Oh, that's
Every
great.
client I mentor, we start right there. And typically, power of association needs a little work, and faith needs
Yes.
a lot of work. And those two things together, when you have the right people around you, your confidence goes up.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? When your confidence goes up, more people come around you.
Exactly
So
right.
they work hand in hand.
Wow, that's so. I mean, Sharon's great at doing this thing called the mic drop. As you just witnessed, that's just great. And you know, taking when you started out, so many people want to find their passion through what they think they like and all of these things. And like you said, hey, mine actually came out of anger. And Steve Jobs is really famous for saying, have a problem that you want to solve. And then, you know, instead of leaving it just positive at the end of just, hey, you have to have faith, but then you help people understand that a lot of times your F is fear. You know, seeing those multiple sides, I think, is incredibly great. A quick story, we were doing a Q&A with Sharon, and someone stood up, and because I mean, she's done so many things that anybody would be unbelievably proud of. And you would think that you're going to get these really long responses, and they say, what is your favorite thing that you've done? What are you most proud of? What do you think the biggest thing is? And she deadpans them, looks them in the face, and says, my next one. That was it. And that's how much faith she has. She's tying it to her own success equation because she knows who she is and she has faith in what she can accomplish. I think that's incredibly powerful.
Oh, thank you.
So let's talk about your Facebook group, the Play Big. How exactly do they find that?
It is a free Facebook group, the Play Big Movement with Sharon Lechter. And almost 8 years ago, 7.5 years ago, I lost my youngest son. So I had really played big my entire career, building the talking children's book with Disney and Warner Brothers, and then, of course, building Rich Dad around the world.
Yeah.
And when I lost my son, I just kind of stopped. And particularly this year, a lot of people have stopped in their tracks. And it was like I was living my life in neutral or numb, right? Neutral or numb, the N word, right? And for a couple of years, I continued writing, I continued speaking, but I wasn't having that same zest, and I wasn't reaching out and playing big like I had before. And I actually about 4 years ago thought about retiring, and I stopped myself, and I got a lot of pushback from family and friends. And I actually think I heard my son whisper in my ear, "Get over it, Mom, there's more for you to do." And so that's my message to everybody watching this is, no matter what the setback is, you may have had a divorce, a death, an illness, a financial setback, you're still here for a reason.
Exactly right.
And there's more for you to do. And you know, the fact that you've been through that, you can help others that are going through it. And so I made that decision to play big again. And once I took the blinders off and made my decision to actually reach out and start having that energy and zest and playing a bigger game, all kinds of things came to me. Now, they were always there. I just couldn't see them because I allowed myself to be in mourning or in this fear place. So get rid of it and start playing big again. And so when I made that decision, I said, I want to help other people play big as well. And so I formed the Play Big Movement group, and every week I broadcast in there. I have a course that's called Play Big too, but You can get into the Facebook group. I do broadcasts. People can talk to each other and support each other. It's really helping people move. It's totally organically grown. I haven't really promoted it, but we have over 2,000 people in this group that support each other and want to play a bigger game. And so I invite everybody to join the Play Big movement. I also have a podcast called The Play Big Movement.
The Play Big movement. Well, everyone go subscribe to that. So traditionally when I interview people, I always ask what most people would consider. I try to find a hard question to ask them, and I know that there's no question that is going to be too hard for you, but I'll just throw this one out there because obviously you had a pretty public business breakup with Robert. And obviously that people can Google enough, so we don't need to get into that. My question to you is, when you see an opportunity, has that skewed or changed your ability or wanting to get into partnerships in future endeavors?
No, I think it just a little bit more aware about, one of my things I tell people, plan the divorce before you get married.
Exactly.
Right, when in business, while you're still excited about the future and you still like each other,
Yeah.
figure out how you're going to separate so that it is a little less traumatic. But, people ask me all the time, are you sorry? And we wouldn't have the brand Rich Dad if it weren't for both Robert and I.
Absolutely.
So we're working together, we created that.
Great.
He couldn't have done it without me, and I couldn't have done it without him. And so the fact that we had a relationship for 10 years and we did a total of 15 books together, and I was able to lead the company as the CEO and to get it around the world, I'll never regret that.
Yeah.
All right. And I also will never regret the decision to leave, even though we were at the height of our success. It was not the right environment. He wanted to go into franchising, and I didn't believe in it. So I stood in my own power, and that's a message I want to give to particularly women, is don't let somebody roll over you. You have to stand in your own power and make the decision that's right for you.
Wow, that's great. And that's she just one of the things I was talking to some of my clients about you, because it's just, even with the interactions that we've had, I mean, I've taken a tremendous amount away from you. And one of the things that I had talked about, I said, you'd think that like a financial literacy and someone who is so entrenched in personal development, that there'd be a little bit of a high and mighty attitude. Because I've met so many people with me trying to get into this. I have never met someone who, if anyone says that they read Rich Dad Poor Dad, the first thing that she says is thank you. It's not, oh, you should have. When someone was saying at Dallas, they kept saying, I want you to know that book changed my life. And she said, no, it didn't. It gave you the power for you to change your life. And she's always pushing power towards power, making other people more powerful. And it's amazing to be around. And if you listened to what she just said in that very public breakup, she said, I couldn't have done it without him. He couldn't have done it without me. And I think that that's just a testament of true integrity in business. And I wish we could make those stories just a little bit more public, this integrity piece, and doing, if it's like I tell my nephew all the time, if it's worth doing, it's worth doing right. So let's talk a little. You have a new book coming up called Exit Rich. Give us a little tiny synopsis of that, so that we can get excited about it. We can download it digitally right now at exitrich.com.
ExitRichBook.com.
ExitRichBook.com.
This is a pre-release copy. There you go.
A pre-release. Look at this.
ExitRich.com. It'll be a hardback, but you can because of the this year 2020, the publication date was pushed back to January, but we wanted people to be able to get it right away. So if you go to ExitRichBook.com, you can buy the book. And you'll get it immediately electronically, and then you'll get the hardcover mailed to you in January. So,
oh, that's great. So I mean, you can, and so what's the big nugget that you'd tell people gets put into their soul by reading this?
Well, so many people want to be their own boss. They build their own business, but they don't understand how to build a business. They don't understand the fundamental basis of building a business that cannot just be successful, but sustainable, scalable, and saleable. And so I really wanted to go into the heart of building a business that you can create generational wealth from. Whether you sell it or not, how do you build that strong business that becomes that economic engine for you? And so Michelle Seiler Tucker is the co-author, and she is the top female business broker in the nation.
Oh, wow.
And so she's the tactician, right?
Yeah.
But I'm the strategy,
Oh,
looking
that's
at
great.
it from an investor perspective or from a mentor's perspective,
Yeah.
about why when every element we talk about is so important. So anybody that owns a business, if you want to have your business valuation increase, you want to read Exit Rich. If
Oh,
you
wow.
want to potentially position for investors, read Exit Rich. If you want to position for a potential sale, you want to read Exit Rich, because it talks about building that foundational element of your business so that you build value, you build intellectual property, you build your databases, you build the opportunity for you to go through due diligence so that when you have a suitor or an investor, you've already got it done.
Yeah.
You're not scrambling in the last minute 24/7 trying to get documents put together.
All right. So basically, if you are an entrepreneur of any kind, this just became one of your Bibles that needs to happen, because I cannot tell you how many businesses, they get really excited, and I've helped a few businesses through the sale process, and I cannot tell you how many times they go, I'm done, I need to go to the next chapter of my life, and they're really excited about the sale, and I'm not kidding, even though they generate whatever it is, and everyone obviously plays at different levels, but they have one number in mind, and let's just say they think they're going to sell for $10 million. And legitimately, they find out that their business is actually worth nothing. It has happened so many times. And so with this, when she's talking about scalable and saleable, I think that this could be such a great book to help people prepare properly. And a lot of times we forget to prepare because we just expect it to happen. Oh, well, I generate $1 million a year. Okay, well, what you need to know what that actually means. I generate $10 million. You need to, because there's businesses out there that generate $10 million a year, but they're carrying such bad debt, or they have this, or they have all of these different things, to where when it comes down to it, someone might give them $1 million or no money. Because the first rule, if you're going to buy a business, is buy assets, not liabilities. So, and she's big on the assets, because assets are sexy, guys.
Yes, assets are
sexy. So she's a big advocate for that. Last but not least, you talk about the idea of a mentor so often. If someone wanted to reach out to you to see if you guys were a good fit to be mentored by you, how do they get in contact with you so that they could potentially take another step, or at least get more information on what that looks like?
So I welcome you to go to my website, SharonLechter.com, and on that website we have a whole mentoring section.
Oh, great.
Where you have the ability to answer a few questions as to what you're looking for, and then one of our team will call you and talk through what your needs are, so that we can, I don't have a set mentoring program, because what you need is maybe not the same as what someone else needs.
Exactly right.
And so we go through an interview process to figure out what your goals are. And I don't take every client, because sometimes they're not ready for me.
Yeah.
And so I want to make sure we put them in the right direction so that they can get the education and the mentoring that they need to get to the next level. So go to SharonLechter.com, go to the mentoring section, and submit the form that's in there and answer those questions. Also, you can reach out to us at info@SharonLechter with any other questions.
Awesome. Well, guys, I don't know about you, but this has been a huge treat for me. She invited me into her wonderful home, and I got to pick her brain just a little bit more. And I'll tell you right now, the Exit Rich, I am so excited about, because every business, when you're trying to transition and you are trying to take that exit, and what she was talking about, it's so much easier to negotiate when there's not $1 million on the table. So getting the stuff and laying the foundation is important. Being able to scale a business and understand what people are going to look like, especially if you're a first-time entrepreneur. Books have changed my life. And in our mastermind that we just had, there was someone who hadn't talked to me for 10 years, came to our mastermind, and he said, "Greg, you are so different. What happened?" And I said, do you read Audible? And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "How many books have you read in your Audible?" And he pulled it open, and he had read 3 in 2 years. And I pulled open mine, and I had read 904 books in 4 years. 900 books will change your life. And realistically, we both know that only one can get it going. Rich Dad did that for a lot of people, and I have a sneaking suspicion if she's laid the groundwork and she's done so many great things on transforming lives and taking all of those things to help people understand what's possible in this, I guarantee you this could be a cornerstone of your life. So thank you very much, Sharon.
Thank you.
I
Appreciate
appreciate you. And yeah, get in contact with her. I guarantee you it's going to change your life.